Inflammation. Tonight, before your head hits the pillow, ask yourself one question: did I support my body or did I ignore it again? Most people wake tired, foggy, inflammation, and frustrated, not because life is hard, but because nightly habits quietly drain energy. Your liver works all night, your brain resets, inflammation. Your cells recharge. What you drink before bed can either help that process or fight against it. This is about simple choices, not perfection. Inflammation. When sleep improves, mornings feel lighter, focus sharpens, and motivation returns. Small nighttime rituals create powerful mornings. Inflammation. Change one habit tonight, and tomorrow begins differently for you. A warm inflammation. Simple drink, like plain warm water or a gentle herbal tea, signals your body to relax and prepare for rest in a way that feels natural, calm. Inflammation. And deeply supportive. Throughout the day, your body is in action mode. You're thinking, moving, reacting, digesting information, inflammation, and handling stress whether you realize it or not. By nighttime, your nervous system needs a clear message that it's safe to slow down. Inflammation. Warmth is one of the most powerful signals you can give it. When you sip something warm, your body interprets it as comfort, safety, and balance. Inflammation. This simple act begins shifting you out of the constant alert state and into a restorative mode without force or effort. Inflammation. Warm water or a mild herbal tea gently relaxes the muscles around your stomach and chest, helping breathing become deeper and slower. As your breath slows, inflammation. Your heart rate naturally follows and the mind starts to quiet. This is important because sleep doesn't begin in the bedroom. Inflammation. It begins with the signals you send your body long before your eyes close. Inflammation. A warm drink becomes a bridge between the busy energy of the day and the stillness of night. It's not about knocking yourself out or forcing sleep. Inflammation. It's about creating an environment where sleep can arrive naturally. The temperature itself plays a key role. Warmth encourages circulation and helps your body feel settled. Cold drinks, especially at night, inflammation, can stimulate the system and make the body work harder to regain balance. A warm beverage, on the other hand, feels grounding. Inflammation. It tells your internal systems that there is no emergency, no rush, and no need to stay on high alert. Inflammation. This calm state allows your body to focus on nighttime processes like recovery, renewal, and internal cleanup. Inflammation. Keeping the drink simple is just as important as keeping it warm. Plain warm water hydrates without overstimulating digestion. Gentle herbal teas, inflammation, such as those without caffeine, offer subtle plant support while remaining easy on the system. The goal is not to overwhelm your body with strong flavors, inflammation, sugars, or heavy ingredients. At night, less is more. Simplicity allows your body to do its job without distraction. When digestion is calm, inflammation. Sleep quality improves because the body is not dividing energy between rest and processing excess stimulation. Inflammation. This nightly habit also works on a psychological level. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity creates relaxation. Inflammation. When you drink the same type of warm beverage each night, your brain begins to associate that action with rest. Over time, the act itself becomes a signal, inflammation, much like dimming the lights or changing into comfortable clothes. The body learns patterns quickly. When it recognizes a familiar nighttime ritual, inflammation, it starts preparing for sleep even before you realize it. This is habit formation at its most powerful, gentle, and sustainable. Inflammation. Another overlooked benefit is mindfulness. Holding a warm cup encourages you to slow down. You sip instead of gulp. You pause instead of rush. Inflammation. That pause matters. It creates space between the demands of the day and the quiet of night. In that space, stress has a chance to loosen its grip. Inflammation. Thoughts don't disappear, but they soften. This calm awareness supports emotional balance, which directly affects sleep depth and quality. Inflammation. When the mind feels heard and settled, the body follows. Hydration at the right time also supports nighttime balance. Mild dehydration can make sleep restless and shallow. Inflammation. A small amount of warm liquid before bed supports internal harmony without overloading the bladder or digestion. Inflammation. It's a gentle way of giving your body what it needs while respecting its rhythms. Balance is always the goal, not extremes. Inflammation. This habit is powerful because it's easy. There's no complicated routine, no expensive products, and no pressure to be perfect. Inflammation. It meets you where you are. Even on stressful days, this one small action can create a sense of control and care. Inflammation. It reminds you that health doesn't require massive changes all at once. It grows from simple inflammation. Repeated choices that tell your body you're paying attention. Over time, this nightly practice can become something you look forward to. Inflammation. A moment of warmth, calm, and connection with yourself. It's a reminder that rest is productive, that slowing down is not weakness, inflammation, and that supporting your body is an act of self-respect. When you give your body the right signals consistently, it responds by working more efficiently, inflammation resting more deeply, and waking with greater clarity and energy. The warmth, the simplicity, the repetition, and the intention all work together to create an environment where the body feels safe enough to let go, unwind inflammation, and transition smoothly into rest without resistance or struggle. Your body naturally restores itself during sleep inflammation, and this process is far more intelligent and organized than most people realize. Every night while you are resting, inflammation, your body shifts from action mode into repair mode. Cells renew, systems reset, and energy stores are balanced. This restoration does not require force, inflammation, effort, or extreme routines. It depends on allowing the body the right conditions to do what it already knows how to do. Light inflammation. Mindful habits before bed act as gentle instructions, telling your body that the day is complete and that it can safely begin its nighttime work. Inflammation. Throughout the day, your nervous system is constantly stimulated by noise, screens, conversations, responsibilities, and stress. Even when you feel tired, inflammation. Your system may still be operating in a heightened state. Sleep becomes shallow when the body receives mixed signals. One part wants rest, inflammation, while another part remains alert. Mindful habits help align those signals. Simple actions like dimming lights, slowing movements, inflammation, and reducing mental input send a clear message that it is time to transition from doing to restoring. Restoration is not only physical inflammation, it is also mental and emotional. When the mind stays busy late into the night, the body struggles to fully relax. Inflammation. Light nighttime habits create a buffer between the stimulation of the day and the stillness of sleep. Inflammation. This buffer allows thoughts to settle naturally instead of being abruptly shut down. When you respect this transition period, inflammation, sleep becomes deeper and more refreshing because the body is not fighting unresolved tension. The key is lightness. Heavy meals, intense conversations, inflammation, loud entertainment, and constant scrolling overload the system at the very time it needs simplicity. Mindful does not mean complicated. Inflammation. It means intentional. Choosing calmer activities before bed helps digestion slow, breathing deepen, and muscles soften. Inflammation. These physical shifts support the natural release of tension and prepare the body for efficient overnight recovery. Consistency strengthens this process. Inflammation. When your body experiences the same calming patterns each night, it begins to anticipate rest. Inflammation. The brain recognizes familiar cues and starts preparing earlier, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Inflammation. This is how habits shape biological rhythm. The body thrives on predictability, especially when it comes to rest. Inflammation. A regular bedtime routine becomes a form of communication between you and your internal systems. Self-awareness plays an important role as well. Inflammation. Paying attention to how certain behaviors affect your sleep builds a deeper connection with your body. Inflammation. You start to notice that calm evenings lead to clearer mornings, while chaotic nights often result in sluggish energy the next day. Inflammation. This awareness naturally guides better choices without discipline or pressure. You don't force change, you understand it. Inflammation. Light habits also protect your energy reserves. When sleep quality improves, your body doesn't need to borrow energy from tomorrow to survive today. Inflammation. You wake up feeling more balanced instead of depleted. This balance affects focus, mood, and physical performance throughout the day. Inflammation. Sleep is not just rest, it is preparation. What you do before bed directly influences how you show up the next day. Inflammation. Mindful nighttime choices also reduce internal resistance. When the body feels supported instead of overstimulated, it lets go more easily. Inflammation. Sleep becomes a natural response instead of a struggle. There is less tossing, less mental noise, and less frustration. Inflammation. This calm state allows deeper stages of sleep to occur, where restoration is most effective. These habits are powerful because they are gentle. Inflammation. They don't demand perfection or dramatic lifestyle changes. They simply invite you to cooperate with your body instead of working against it. Over time, inflammation. This cooperation builds trust. Your body learns that nighttime is safe, predictable, and restorative. Inflammation. That trust allows the entire system to relax more fully, making sleep a reliable source of renewal rather than a nightly challenge to it every night. Inflammation. Small actions repeated daily create real, lasting energy changes because the body responds more to consistency than intensity. Inflammation. Many people believe they need dramatic routines or extreme discipline to feel better, but the body works on patterns, not occasional effort. Inflammation. When you repeat a simple action each night, your system begins to recognize it as normal and expected. Inflammation. This predictability allows your internal rhythms to stabilize, which is essential for steady energy and balanced health. Inflammation. One small habit done nightly becomes a signal that the day is winding down and recovery can begin. Daily repetition builds momentum without pressure. Inflammation. You are not asking your body to adjust suddenly or react to extremes. Instead, you are gently guiding it in the same direction over and over again. Inflammation. This approach reduces resistance and increases cooperation. The body prefers gradual change because it feels safe. When safety is present, energy flows more smoothly and stress responses decrease. This is how small habits quietly reshape how you feel over time. Inflammation consistency also removes decision fatigue. When something becomes a nightly routine, it no longer requires motivation or willpower. Inflammation. You don't debate whether to do it, you simply do it. This saves mental energy and keeps your nervous system calm. Overthinking drains energy. Inflammation. While simple routines preserve it, nightly habits free your mind from choices and allow your body to settle into rest more easily. Inflammation. Energy is not created overnight, it is built through daily support. When small actions are repeated, they compound. Each night supports the next day. Inflammation. And each day prepares you for the next night. This cycle strengthens over time, leading to more stable energy levels instead of constant highs and lows. Inflammation. You may not notice dramatic changes immediately, but subtle improvements accumulate until feeling better becomes your new baseline. Inflammation. Repeating a habit nightly also strengthens self-trust. Every time you follow through on a small commitment to yourself, inflammation, you reinforce the belief that your health matters. This belief influences other choices throughout the day. When you respect your body at night, inflammation, you are more likely to support it during the day. Energy improves not only because of the habit itself, but because of the mindset it creates. Inflammation. The nervous system thrives on routine. When the same calming actions happen every evening, your body learns when to slow down. Inflammation. Hormonal rhythms begin to align, sleep quality improves, and recovery becomes more efficient. This efficiency translates into better focus, steadier moods, inflammation, and greater physical endurance during the day. Energy stops being something you chase and becomes something you protect. Inflammation. Small nightly actions also prevent burnout. Instead of pushing harder when you feel tired, inflammation, you create a foundation that reduces exhaustion in the first place. This proactive approach keeps your energy from being constantly depleted. Over time, inflammation, your body stops operating in survival mode and begins functioning with more balance and ease. The power of repetition lies in its simplicity. Inflammation. You don't need to overhaul your life or wait for the perfect moment. You just need to show up consistently in small ways. Night after night, inflammation. These simple actions teach your body what to expect, how to respond, and when to restore. Real energy changes don't come from doing more. Inflammation. They come from doing the right small things regularly and allowing the body to adapt naturally. Drinking the same healthy beverage nightly trains your brain in a powerful and natural way. Inflammation. Sending a clear message that it's time to slow down, recover, and recharge. The brain is constantly looking for patterns. It learns through repetition, inflammation, association, and timing. When you introduce a consistent nighttime habit, the brain begins to link that action with rest and safety. Over time, inflammation. This connection becomes automatic. You no longer have to force relaxation because your system starts preparing for it on its own. Inflammation. This process works because the brain responds strongly to cues. A cue can be something simple, like holding a warm cup, tasting a familiar flavor, inflammation, or sitting in the same quiet space each night. These sensory experiences tell the brain that the active part of the day is ending, inflammation. Once the cue is recognized, the brain begins shifting gears, reducing alertness and easing tension throughout the body. Inflammation. This transition is essential for quality sleep and effective recovery. Repetition strengthens this signal. The first few nights may feel ordinary, inflammation, but as the habit continues, the brain becomes more efficient at responding. It anticipates what comes next, inflammation. This anticipation allows the nervous system to settle earlier, making it easier to unwind mentally and physically. The body thrives on routine, inflammation, especially when that routine supports rest. A predictable evening pattern creates stability, and stability supports restoration. Inflammation. Choosing the same healthy beverage each night also simplifies your routine. There is no decision-making involved, no experimentation, and no uncertainty. This simplicity reduces mental clutter, which is often one of the biggest obstacles to relaxation. When the mind is calm, the body follows. Inflammation. The brain appreciates consistency because it removes the need to stay alert for changes or surprises. This habit also creates a moment of intentional pause. Inflammation. Instead of rushing from one activity to another until you collapse into bed, you create a transition space. Inflammation. That space allows the brain to release the tension of the day gradually. Sipping a familiar beverage encourages slower movements and deeper breathing. Inflammation, which further signals relaxation. These small physical changes reinforce the brain's understanding that it's time to rest. Over time, inflammation. This nightly practice can influence how quickly you fall asleep and how deeply you rest. When the brain receives the same calming signal night after night, inflammation, it becomes conditioned to respond with relaxation. This conditioning supports smoother transitions into sleep and more efficient recovery during the night. Inflammation. The brain doesn't resist rest when it recognizes it as part of a familiar pattern. This training effect extends beyond sleep. Inflammation. When the brain learns that rest is regular and reliable, it becomes more focused and efficient during the day. Inflammation. Knowing that recovery is coming reduces stress and conserves energy. Inflammation. The brain no longer feels the need to stay on high alert because it trusts the routine you've created. This trust allows for better concentration, inflammation, improved mood, and steadier energy levels. The emotional impact of this habit is just as important. Inflammation. A nightly ritual communicates care and respect for your body. It reminds the brain that you are paying attention and prioritizing well-being. Inflammation. This sense of care reduces internal resistance and promotes a feeling of safety. When the brain feels safe, inflammation, it allows deeper relaxation and more complete recovery. This habit also reinforces self-discipline without strain. Inflammation. You are not forcing yourself into rigid rules or complicated routines. You are simply repeating a gentle action that supports your natural rhythms. Inflammation. This kind of discipline feels sustainable because it works with the body instead of against it. Over time, inflammation. It becomes something you look forward to rather than something you have to remember. Inflammation. The power of drinking the same healthy beverage nightly lies in its quiet consistency. It turns an ordinary moment into a meaningful signal. Inflammation. Night after night, the brain learns that this moment marks the shift from effort to ease. This learning happens naturally without pressure or struggle. Inflammation, and it builds a foundation for better rest, stronger recovery, inflammation, and more balanced energy that carries into every part of daily life. Notice how you feel in the morning because your body is always giving you feedback. Inflammation, and most people overlook it. The way you wake up is not random. It reflects what happened the night before, how well your body rested, inflammation, and how supported your systems felt. When you begin paying attention to these signals, you develop awareness, inflammation. And awareness is one of the most powerful tools for improving sleep and overall energy. You don't need charts, trackers, or complicated systems. Inflammation. Your body already tells you what works if you're willing to listen. Morning sensations offer clear information. Do you wake up refreshed or heavy? clear-minded or foggy, calm or tense, energized or dragging yourself out of bed. These feelings are clues. Inflammation. They show you whether your nighttime habits are helping or interfering with your natural rhythm. When you start observing these patterns without judgment, inflammation, you gain insight instead of frustration. This insight guides better decisions naturally without forcing change. Inflammation. Better awareness builds a connection between cause and effect. You begin to notice that calmer evenings lead to smoother mornings, inflammation, while overstimulation leads to restlessness and fatigue. This connection makes it easier to adjust habits because the results become personal and obvious. Inflammation. You are no longer following advice blindly. You are responding to your own experience. This personal feedback loop is more effective than any external rule. Inflammation. Morning awareness also shapes your mindset for the day. When you wake up feeling balanced, you move differently, think more clearly, inflammation, and respond better to stress. This improved state encourages healthier choices throughout the day, from movement to food to mental focus. Inflammation. Good sleep doesn't just affect the night. It influences every decision that follows. When you notice how much better you feel after restful sleep, inflammation, you naturally want to protect it. Awareness encourages responsibility without pressure. Instead of blaming circumstances or feeling helpless, inflammation, you recognize your role in how you feel. This recognition is empowering. It shows you that small adjustments can lead to noticeable improvements. Inflammation. You don't need to change everything at once. You simply notice, adjust, and repeat. Inflammation. This gentle process builds confidence and trust in your ability to support your own health. When awareness increases, inflammation, habits become intentional rather than automatic. You start questioning behaviors that once felt normal but no longer serve you. Late night distractions, inflammation, irregular schedules, or heavy stimulation lose their appeal when you see their impact clearly. Awareness creates clarity. Inflammation clarity leads to better choices without resistance. Better sleep is often the result of better listening. Inflammation. The body is constantly working to restore balance, but it needs cooperation. Inflammation. Morning awareness helps you recognize what supports that restoration and what interferes with it. Over time, inflammation. You develop a personalized understanding of your sleep needs. Inflammation. This understanding is more sustainable than generic advice because it is based on real experience. This process also reduces anxiety around sleep. Inflammation. When you observe patterns instead of worrying about outcomes, you remove pressure. Pressure activates stress, which interferes with rest. Awareness, inflammation, on the other hand, promotes calm adjustment. You focus on learning rather than forcing results. Inflammation. This mindset supports relaxation and improves sleep quality naturally. Morning awareness reinforces long-term change. Each day becomes a data point, inflammation, not a judgment. You gather information, refine habits, and strengthen routines that work. Inflammation. This steady approach leads to lasting improvement because it respects your body's pace. You are not chasing perfection. You are building understanding. Inflammation. As awareness grows, sleep becomes more reliable. You trust your body more, and your body responds with better regulation. Mornings feel less chaotic and more predictable. Energy stabilizes, mood improves, focus sharpens. Inflammation. All of this begins with noticing how you feel when you wake up and allowing that information to guide your choices. Inflammation. Awareness transforms sleep from something you struggle with into something you work with, creating a healthier rhythm that supports both night and day.